He'll go on social media and say, I wasn't drunk. I was just trolling. It's so fun to attack this hideous goblin. Those are the words he used to describe her. I think the hideous one is your wife. The Chris Farley lookalike that you wake up to every day. Nope.
That's feminist Brian Shapiro that just said that too, by the way. Just so y'all know. Feminist Brian Shapiro just called a woman Chris Farley.
I wonder why you drink. I was in a group called the Un-F America Tour. They're kind of like the anti-Turning Point Tour, right? I'm in a new group now, but I was in the Un-F America Tour for a while there. And the leader of that tour, her name is Z. She's done this show before. So Andrew not only misrepresented me on Joe Rogan, but also lied about Z and that organization. And listen, I'm not here to defend the organization. I'm just saying what Andrew said was a lie. He made comments about contributions, millions of dollars in contributions that she's made from a group, which was a complete lie, right? All Andrew does is lie. Andrew and Rachel are liars. And this was a blatant lie. So Z did the appropriate thing and said, okay, if you can prove that I'm...
What has Andrew lied about? Like, I don't agree with Andrew on everything, but he's not just a liar. Like, he's not somebody like Josh Hammer, like we just saw, got caught in 3 lies in the first 5 minutes of his debate. He's not that. He's not that. He may see things I don't agree with from time to time, but he's not a liar. Not at all.
Making money from this group, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, then I'll give you $100,000. Let's make a $100,000 bet. Now, of course, Andrew doesn't agree to it. Of course, Andrew doesn't even respond to the lies that he made on the Joe Rogan podcast. Doesn't respond to any of that, but goes into a drunken tirade. And it's really funny because it's pathetic. Now, I've always believed that Andrew has a drinking problem. I've talked to him about it, and he said no. But if I had to wake up to Rachel every day, I would probably have a drinking problem as well. But that's another story for another show. So these are the voicemails. These are actual text voicemails that Andrew made to Z. She posted them online. And the amazing part about this whole thing is, and how stupid Andrew Wilson's fans are, is that they believe he was just trolling because Andrew says he was just trolling. They'll believe anything Andrew says. When Andrew actually left drunken voicemails, and this is the same guy who had a problem with me calling his wife the B word, okay? But yet, I want to play for you some of them.
Didn't have a problem with it. All he did is call you out on it and point out that you're supposed to be a fucking feminist and you're jumping in girls' DMs and calling them bitches. I don't know. It kind of seems like you're fake.
It's mesmerizing and it will blow you away.
When I do that, it doesn't seem fake because I do think most women are bitches, so I'm good.
At the fact that this guy needs help and he's claiming that he was just trolling her when clearly this is a very deranged, drunk, mentally ill man leaving voicemails with Z. Listen to this.
Oh no, Z, don't be my worst nightmare. Oh no, please stop. Oh no, stop. Stop. Oh no. Oh, it's my worst nightmare. Oh, fucking idiot. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitch. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, so let's just stop there for a moment.
Did you think that was damning? It didn't even sound drunk. He didn't sound like he was slurring or anything. That's how he talks to them in real life. He just sent him a video message so they could hear his beautiful voice as he did it to her.
Let's take a break. By the way, there's a lot more, by the way. There's a lot more. So he's leaving voicemails, clearly drunk, calling her the stupid B word. So it's okay for him to do it because the Wilsons live in a glass house. When somebody calls them that, it's World War III. Oh, Brian, you're a misogynist. Oh, Brian.
How could Andrew Wilson, who is an anti-feminist, how could he ever text a woman and call her a bitch? Like Brian, the feminist, like he does.
I can't believe you DM'd my wife. But it's okay for him to do this. And listen to this. Like, then he starts burping. Like
he's not getting it. You're a feminist. Andrew's an anti-feminist. Anti-feminists can say whatever we want to women because we're not fucking burdened by your fucking nonsense and your fucking lady power or whatever, your girl power they teach you in school. We're not fucking affected by it. We're immune.
So grotesque and it's so disgusting.
Right.
I'm immune to girl power.
All right, hold on. Stop it. Stop it. I don't mean to get people sick because it is lunch hour. There are still people in Andrew Wilson's orbit that think that he was just messing with her and trolling and he's
Yeah.
not drunk. You know, play that burp one more time. Yeah. Can we play that burp one more time? Boy, what a great actor. He's just belching.
I burped twice today.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. See, you can go back to seething on your videos or whatever it is you do. I do thank you for your concern. It's very kind of you to reach out and make sure that I'm okay after my latest Rogan appearance. It's rough out here, I gotta tell you. But I'm glad a bunch of lefties got together to do a ratio on X that nobody will remember in a week. Anyway, have a good night.
And you think that's some kind of a big, what does he call it? Andrew Wilson's drunk voicemails just leaked. That didn't even sound drunk. That just sounded funny.
He leaves another one. It doesn't. Then he leaves another one. Leaves another voice text message. Okay. It doesn't end there. If that wasn't as bad enough, then he goes into a rant about video games. And again,
Oh no.
I can't stop.
let me just remind everybody, he's claiming that he wasn't drunk. I told him, I said, this is a really bad look, Andrew. You're leaving drunk voicemails to this chick. You're clearly incoherent. You're slurring your words. You're burping. Anybody, reasonable person would say this guy sounds drunk. And you're claiming that this was all an act, that you were just trolling. It exposes what a lying scumbag this guy is. Go ahead.
Oh, he's arguing with somebody. If you read her text up here, she's insulting his wife. So yeah, well, he's just talking shit back to her. Why? This is not news. But Brian thought he had a big gotcha. Drunken voicemails just leaked. I mean, I think Andrew knew that he was sending them to somebody. And she's in the media. I'm sure he thought she could use them if she wanted to. He just didn't care.
I can't just.
And he's in the chat saying ha 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 ha, laughing about them all.
Decide between Miller or I got this other shitty American beer, but I can't decide. I think I'm going to go with the Miller. Z. I do. I think I'm going to go with the Miller. I'm going to go with the Miller for sure. Also, this fucking game.
It was a bad choice of beer, but it was funny when he did it.
This fall, don't get this game. Terrible fucking game. It was a bad decision. I'm rethinking my entire life. I really shouldn't have got this game. Terrible. It's just it's fucking awful, Z. It's an awful game.
Yeah, so I'm letting you.
And he can't see that that's a joke. He just came off his second appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, biggest podcast in the world. I think he's doing pretty well. He's about to have a debate with Candace Owens for like $500,000 almost. Like, I think he's doing okay, Brian. Like, I think he's fucking with her because she's trying to act like he's an alcoholic, and he's like, look at all the success I'm having. He's fucking with her. Y'all don't see that?
Hear it.
This one, though, it's called Survival Fountain of Youth. Fucking great game. It's severely underrated, too. It's only like $5. It was only $5, Z. Hours of entertainment. Highly, highly recommended. Now, could you ever make a stone spear like that? I don't fucking think so, Z. I don't think you could. Me, though, no fucking problem. Made that shit like it was nothing, Z. Took me, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes max, and I'm going to go hunt down an animal for lunch. So, how you like that?
Now, he's trying to act like that's not hilarious, and he's not even showing the picture. Look at that fucking spear. It is amazing.
Well, have fun doing that then. But for me, stone spear making is the epitome of all that is gaming, Z. It really is. It's just, I mean, it's just wonderful. But
It's a big part.
You got to go make your millions or whatever it is you got to do. I get it. I understand. Just listen to this soundtrack with the fire crackling. I'm telling you, doesn't sound like a $5 soundtrack, does it? Like they really went all out for this game. It's something else. It really is, Z. Just
It
give it a
sound good.
try. Go relax. Go play video games or something. You know, do something.
It did sound really good. I hope it's a fishing game. I would play that.
You know, the conversations are two-sided, and now I feel like I'm just talking to the void. Here I was, just waiting for you to give me an answer after I was talking about this fucking game. And you just left me hanging. It's very rude, Z. You're a very rude person. Mean. All right, Z, fine, I guess.
But he didn't finish
So
it.
is there anybody that listened to that just now that thinks that he wasn't on something or he wasn't drunk?
I'm sure he was drinking a little bit, but that's when most of the fun times do happen, Brian. You know, if you ever got invited to a party.
Is there any reasonable person that would make that claim? He must be like Robert De Niro, right? Give the guy an Oscar. Of course he's on something. Of course he's drunk.
And so what? What's that? What? So?
Maybe both. I don't know. By the way, his wife has tweeted at me in the middle of the night, like 2, 3 in the morning, and then has deleted some of those tweets. This was like a month ago. Okay.
Let's
I
see
don't
him.
know what they're
Let's see him. I want to see him.
both on, but they're definitely both on something. And it certainly sounded to me like Andrew was drunk. But here's where it gets even more pathetic. He goes on social media yesterday after obviously acknowledging.
Are you telling me your biggest enemy's wife DM'd you in the middle of the night and you didn't take a screenshot of it to show everybody? Come on, man. Come on.
I would assume that, oh, I left those voicemails and I was drunk. I was inebriated, because obviously it's incoherent. You can't even really understand what he's talking about. He's slurring his words. He's calling her a goblin, by the way. He called her a goblin, attacking her physical appearance.
Well, you can never do that to a woman, Brian. You could never call him Chris Farley. That would just be a dickhead thing to do, wouldn't it?
And anybody who attacks his wife, Chris Farley's appearance, I guess that's too much over the line. But, you know, I don't even drink. Okay. I don't do
So you don't even have an excuse. You're just a dickhead.
drugs. I don't drink. But again, they live in a glass house. So he goes on social media, and this is a test.
Now, notice how Brian doesn't live in a glass house. When he's criticizing Andrew Wilson, who is an anti-feminist, for calling a woman names and making fun of her appearance, but he just did that to Andrew Wilson's wife, and he is a feminist, and he is against all that kind of shit. So which one of them seems like they're living in glass houses when they're doing all the shit they call the other side out for? You're doing it, and you're supposed to be against that behavior to begin with.
Testament to how stupid the cuckables are, because they're a bunch of very stupid people. The same demo, mostly white men, middle-aged men who are misogynist pigs just like him. And he goes on social media. He says, I was just trolling her. I was just trolling her, instead of acknowledging that he was drunk, which clearly he was. Now he's going to lie. He even told me last night, I wasn't drunk. I didn't even have one drink. I was just trolling. You see,
he didn't sound drunk. I've heard him a couple of times when he's had a few too, maybe when he could have cut it off a couple minutes earlier. I've heard him when he sounds a little bit inebriated. And that didn't sound like that. It sounded like he was fucking with somebody and just having fun with her. That's all.
As I've learned over the course of the last
I do that too.
9 or 10 months, Andrew and Rachel do not take responsibility for anything. They've never lost a debate. They've never done anything wrong. They're perfect human beings. And
no, Brian, you're the perfect one. You're against all these things because they're bad, except when you do them. You're the one. You're the one.
Let's just say for a moment he's telling the truth, which he isn't. This is a grown man leaving voicemails to a woman that you just lied about on the Joe Rogan show, which is provable, by the way, because she was willing to put up $100,000. You're not, because you're a lying scumbag. You're a grown man. I assume he's in his 40s. He looks like he's in his 60s. I assume, with all the smoking and the drinking, whatever else he does, I assume he's in his 40s. You're leaving drunk messages late at night, talking about her appearance, talking about video games, swearing at her, calling her the B word, burping. And these people call themselves.
If you saw our debate last week, Brian versus Andrew Wilson, I guess like 5 or 6, it was like the 4th or 5th time I've done their debate. He did the exact same thing to Rachel. He texted her late at night, called her a bunch of names, called her a bitch, called her all this kind of shit. And now he's making a video about Andrew, who did it to fuck with somebody. Like, obviously, like none of that. Like, if you did, A really bad one would be one where you're like threatening somebody or doing shit like that. Those kind of drunken, those are bad when they leak. This is nothing.
Christians. I'm laughing at it because it's so pathetic. I'm laughing at it because I'm realizing how stupid the cuckables are. Like, he can say anything and they'll believe it. Well, I guess he was just acting when he was burping. I guess he was just pretending like he was drunk. Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened.
He had to send the voice message. It's not the same when you just write burp on the fucking message. It doesn't have the same impact.
I'm sure that's what it is. And what are they doing today? They're not talking about the economy. They're not talking about the latest job numbers that came out. They're not talking, when I say they, I mean the cuckables. They're not talking about the Iran war. They're not talking about the latest vote on the Senate floor. They're not talking about any important issues. What's Andrew doing? He's going back and forth with Candace Owens because he wants to make some money as the two grifters.
Brian runs a news channel, and he doesn't understand why people who run political debate channels aren't covering all the local news all the time. It's just like, why would they be? I'm not covering the news because I'm not a newscaster. I don't try and pretend. I don't pay to be on a radio station like Brian here just to get my news out there.
I would say they both are wanting to debate Candace Owens about the murder of Charlie Kirk. I mean, these are not serious people. And I called him a hypocrite yesterday because he'll be the first person to call me out if I call his wife a name. He'll be the first.
Because you're a feminist, Brian. You don't really get that? Like, you argue, your entire shtick is about arguing for women and pretending like you're this good person. Like, when you do that, you can't pretend to be the good person no more. That's what he was calling out. Yeah,
person to play victim. He'll be the first person to want an apology. But when he attacks a woman on looks, or when he says to me, they're all lying effing B words who have made claims of sexual assault to Donald Trump. When he makes statements like that, it's totally okay because he lives in a glass house. So let's be very clear here. Okay.
Okay.
Let's be very, very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, if you're a fan of this guy and you believe him and you don't see anything wrong with those voicemails, chances are you're probably also a misogynist. To
be fair, I am. From their definition, I don't really consider it that way. I think women are just as good as men, but they have different purposes. I think women would be happier in the home and they would be like fulfilling their duty. Like they would be doing what women should be doing instead of trying to be a man. So I guess from that perspective, you might think I was a misogynist too. So what? Then it's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with it. That's how most men are a little bit, to some degree, in some things. Everything in the world, you could find something that a man would think something a little different than in a woman. Like, and a woman will just call that misogyny because everything that disagrees with what they want is misogyny.
Probably hate women. I, for one, have never said that women shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Well, you're wrong. They shouldn't. You should have said it.
For one, have never said that women are second-class citizens. I, for one, have never said.
No one has said that. Maybe in Iran or someplace like that. I don't know. But no one around here I know has said that they're second-class citizens. I just think they shouldn't be voting if they're not going to go fight in that war. But if they do decide they're going to go fight in the war, then we let them vote. If you enlist or you fucking get drafted somehow, well, then we'll start letting you vote.
That women shouldn't be in powerful positions. To the contrary. When women say stupid things, I treat them just like I would treat a man.
Untrue. He does not. He does that only with like conservative wives, apparently, because he does give women a lot more leeway than he gives men because he's a feminist. And that's what Andrew was trying to point out. When you're a feminist, you're supposed to be that way with all women, not just women who agree with you.
When women do or say stupid things, I treat them the same as men. I don't care what's between their legs. I don't treat them differently because they're women. I'm an equal opportunity offender. But never have I ever said that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Never have I ever said that I couldn't be a friend with a woman. That's what of a lunatic these people are. Andrew has even said publicly.
Why would you want to be a friend with a woman anyway? Like, the only good reason to have them around is, either they're cooking something or letting you put something in them. That's the only two good things, really. Like, at this point, like being friends with them, I got plenty of bad advice. I don't need any more.
that he will not be friends with women. What kind of lunatic would talk like that? And then this is the guy that says he said on the Whatever podcast that he forced his wife to take a paternity test. Boy, that sounds like a really, really loving couple. Very trusting, right?
Now they have more trust because they took the test and she was right. And so now you have much more trust, right? Is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? Sounds like a good thing to me.
And then he leaves these voicemails. Clearly drunk and incapacitated. Clearly, he's slurring his words. He's calling her these names. He's going on tangents about video games. Notice he doesn't address the issue that Z had, which I think is a fair one, because he lied about her on the Joe Rogan podcast, claiming she's making millions of dollars from a specific organization. And she said, I'll put up $100,000 right now if you can prove it. Doesn't even address it. Leaves drunk, incoherent voicemails. And he'll go on social media and say, I wasn't drunk. I was just trolling. It's so fun to attack this hideous goblin. Those are the words he used to describe her. I think the hideous one is your wife. The Chris Farley lookalike that you wake up to every day. No wonder why you drink. So in closing.
Does that sound like a good feminist to you?
I'll say this. For all of you cuckable fans out there, you're all joke. You're all complete imbeciles. You obviously are all very stupid people. I feel like I'm describing the MAGA base.
And he can say that from his perch here while he hides from debating us. Because Cool Vic has tried to debate him multiple times. He's even gotten Cool Vic kicked off of shows so Cool Vic couldn't debate him. That's how afraid he is of debating us imbeciles over here who think differently from him. He's not smart enough or brave enough to debate us on it unless he's got some kind of setup. Like he'll let you call in so he can mute you and kick you off whenever he gets mad, just like First Amender did me the other night. But they're not brave enough to go and stand and get on camera in front of you and have a debate. They're not, because Cool Vic has challenged him and Brian's nuts shrunk and he's scared of Cool Vic for some reason. So how big of imbeciles are we if you're afraid to debate us?
You all are in a cult. You like it when you hear people demean women. You like it when you hear people like Andrew Wilson.
Only if it's funny.
Demean half the country, demean women, makes misogynist comments. You like it. And that's why you're a fan. That's why.
And Brian, when you're saying that about Andrew, that would mean you're the opposite of that. You do dislike it when people say mean things to women and do all these awful things to women, except when you do it. All right? Right? That's what he's trying to show. And Brian just can't fucking connect those two dots. That you're saying he's bad because he does it that way, and it's the same thing you're doing. You sent his wife the message before this even happened. So I'm gonna call you out for doing the shit I did to your wife a couple of weeks ago. That's what he's doing here.
You donate to him. That's why he makes money off of you, because you like the misogynist attacks. This is not a serious person.
He says that frequently just to try and discount the other person, but he never backs it up with anything of any substance. Not a serious person. He said that earlier in the debate today because the kid made fun of him, made fun of his shirt or something.
Talk about the news of the day. He doesn't talk about the real issues that are facing the American people. He's more interested in going after Candace Owens and having a debate with Candace Owens about the Charlie Kirk murder. His wife doesn't have a job. Yeah, she wrote a book.
Her book was on the bestsellers list too. So she's a best-selling author. I think that counts as a job. She's a mother, which can also be a job as long as you're not just watching TV all day. And she also does debates. She also skunked you in a fucking debate. So she works a lot harder than you, Brian. She beat the shit out of you.
Book. You know what his wife does all day besides making him drinks?
Apparently, research for debates, because that's what won her your debate. She does a lot. She writes books and she gets Andrew drinks, sure, because she's a wife and that's what she's supposed to do. And all the other shit, she lets that go on the side. Her priority is getting Andrew that drink because she's a good wife. And you'll never understand that because you're probably not marrying an OnlyFans whore.
You know what his wife does all day? She goads people into debating her on the one topic she's capable of debating, which is feminism. That's it.
She's an author. She writes about feminism. That is the topic. Like, I don't do debates on religion because it's not my wheelhouse. Is she just got to debate everything and lose like you? Like, she debates shit she's going to win on. You apparently aren't being very selective because you're choosing debates for shit you have no clue about.
That's her Super Bowl. That's it. Having a debate with people on feminism once every several months. That's what she does for a living, and attacking people on social media. These are not serious people.
Well, they're doing one for 300,000. The Andrew debate is like 300,000. That's what they're paying Candace. So I mean, they're dealing with some numbers that are out of Brian's reach here. So to call them act like they're just like losers who aren't doing anything, that's absurd. She went on the Joe Rogan podcast. Brian can't get on the Joe Rogan podcast, so apparently she's doing something right and Brian's doing something wrong.
Sorry, they're not. They're not serious.
There he is.